Welcome to Open for Business, the Gallatin Valley's only local business and consumer talk show featuring Tom Eaglehoff, the Man Entrepreneur magazine radio called the leading authority in the United States for doing business in small town. Here he is, speaker, author, small business consultant, and Mrs. Eaglehoff's favorite son, Tom Eaglehoff.
All right, welcome everyone. Open for Business. We air every Saturday live from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time on AM 1450 KMMS in Bozeman, 1340 KPRK in Livingston, Montana. If you'd like to be a part of the big broadcast, go to kmmsam.com and click Listen Live. The call-in number during the show, 406-522-TALK, 406-522-8255. I'm here, you're here. Let's get the show on the road. All right, it's 25 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Saturday, November 26, 2016. I want to welcome you to the podcast portion of Open for Business. Each week I share some tips and tricks that I've learned over the years about advertising, marketing, promotion, and building strong, successful businesses. And if you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel. And while you're there, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you'll never miss another weekly podcast. And you'll also find my podcast on my website at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. Today's topic, I want to talk about how to read your small business condition. When you see a health professional, they usually order a series of tests to evaluate your health condition. They use these test results to either give you a clean bill of health or to alert you to any conditions that may require treatment or medication. So there are also tests that you can do which will tell you the health or sickness of your business. So what numbers are we talking about? Well, you might think I'd want to see your financial statements, profit and loss, income statement, cash flow, tax returns, things like that. I'll admit that the above will tell me what's going on with the financial condition of the company, but often after it's too late. There's other numbers you need to be aware of that will greatly affect those forms if they're ignored. And here are some additional numbers you should be looking for. Start with your gross numbers. Every business has peaks and valleys of good and bad business. When I worked with Circuit City stores, 75% of their weekly business was done between Thursday and Sunday. Now, I have a friend who sells custom-made Christmas Santas. 80 to 90% of her business is done from October to December. How much business do you do per day, per week, or per month? So keep track of these totals. They're indicators of marketing and advertising success or failure, which brings us to the next numbers. Advertising. How much business do you want to do? Now, there's many articles on smalltownmarketing.com that explore the pros and cons of advertising. For this podcast, we're interested in the answer to one question. Do you know the average cost of marketing and advertising in your industry? If you're spending more than the industry average, that suggests that you have few loyal customers. If you have to spend more to bring customers in, they aren't loyal to your business. On the other hand, if you spend less than average on advertising, that might suggest that you do have very loyal customers. The next advertising question is, where do you want your business to go? If you want to grow the business, then a re-evaluation of your advertising goals are in order. Advertising with the right message in the right place produces customers. Advertising is an investment. It can never be an expense. It must always produce more in profit than it costs. If your advertising is paying for itself and producing paying customers, the business increase allows you to do more advertising, and that will produce even more customers and higher profits. So to increase your business by $50,000 per year, with 3 employees working 22 days each month, each employee would only have to generate $63 more each day in sales than they're producing now. Which brings us to my next point. Are your employees trained to produce? You increased your advertising, you're bringing in more customers, but you're bringing them into a sales staff that knows little about how to sell your products and services. You end up alienating new customers instead of making loyal friends. Well-trained salespeople can produce that extra $63 that advertising brings in. Your customers can purchase products or services just like yours at your competitor's business. They buy where they feel that knowledgeable people can help them solve their problems. They also buy where they're comfortable with the image that business projects. Which brings us to, how do you look to your customers? As mentioned earlier, customers buy where they feel comfortable. If you're an attorney, do you have new furniture styles in your waiting room? Are the carpets clean? Are there scratches in the woodwork? What impression are you giving to your customers? Success and prosperity, or penny pinching and cheap? Provide the best looking business you can afford, and the bottom line will reflect that effort. Your customers appreciate a pleasant purchasing environment. So do your employees. Remember the 63 per day we discussed earlier? Employees will produce more with positive working conditions. Are your employees proud of where they work? And what do you know about your customers? If you've ever received a credit card bill, it probably contained an offer for a product. Do you think everyone who gets the bill gets the same offer for the same product? No, they don't. The offer you receive is based on your income, your past purchases, your geographic area, and other demographic information collected by the credit card company. What kind of information are you keeping on your customers? Could you easily pull out a specific group of customers and send a mailing just to them? What do you really know about your customers' buying habits? If you're like most small business owners, not much. Start compiling all the information you can about your customers, any way you can. Surveys, focus groups, seminars. Finding information about customers is not an easy task. Have you ever visited someone's house that had ugly carpets that didn't match their ugly furniture and wanted your opinion? Were you brutally honest with them, or did you tell them how much you admired their taste? Business owners tell me the same thing every day. I know my customers and they tell me what they don't like. Well, my question is, do they tell you they didn't like your carpets and furniture? Customers may not always be honest with you in face-to-face interviews. Find other non-threatening ways to get the information from them. And that's the podcast. If you missed any of my previous podcasts, you'll find them all on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel or on my website at smalltownmarketing.com. That's smalltownmarketing.com. Go about halfway down the homepage on the left side, and you'll find a link to the podcast page so you can catch up on any of my podcasts that you might have missed. So tune in each Saturday, and let's build successful businesses together.